The African ostrich, the largest living bird on Earth, forages across the harsh, arid plains. Armed with phenomenal strength, she sustains herself on insects and small desert prey. Every single calorie is crucial right now, for she is not just feeding herself, she is preparing for the future. The ostrich returns to her nest, a shallow depression holding her precious clutch of eggs. Driven by a profound maternal instinct, the ostrich settles in to incubate the eggs. In this unforgiving landscape, creating new life demands unwavering dedication and constant vigilance. But today, a truly formidable adversary prowls the open savanna: the honey badger. Notorious for its insatiable appetite and utter fearlessness, the honey badger prowls the savanna. The honey badger scours the harsh terrain for its next meal, catching a scent. It has spotted the nesting ostrich, a dangerous yet highly tempting opportunity. With trademark recklessness, the bold honey badger charges straight in. Instantly, the ostrich rises, her maternal defensive instincts flaring into high gear.
The ostrich spreads her massive wings, transforming into a towering wall of intimidation to protect her nest.
The fierce standoff begins. Two distinctly stubborn forces of nature lock eyes. Neither is willing to take a single step backward in this tense confrontation. The silent negotiation fails, and pure violence erupts. The ostrich strikes first, launching a furious assault. The ostrich deploys her most lethal weapon, incredibly powerful legs, capable of delivering devastating blows. The ostrich mercilessly stomps and kicks the intruder, unleashing a frantic barrage to crush the threat. But the honey badger is a savanna legend, encased in thick, remarkably loose skin. It absorbs the punishing impacts that would swiftly kill lesser creatures. The honey badger is battered, buried in swirling dust, crushed by the ostrich, yet refuses to yield. The honey badger scrambles, snaps, and relentlessly holds its ground. This is a brutal test of endurance. The ostrich's desperate fury is matched against the honey badger's grit. The intense battle rages on. Again and again, the massive ostrich delivers earth-shattering, punishing kicks. The small predator is trampled, violently flipped, and repeatedly pinned to the ground. But the honey badger's relentless, ferocious aggression never wanes. Each time it seems utterly defeated, the honey badger springs back with terrifying, unyielding energy. The honey badger snaps and lunges furiously at the ostrich's vulnerable legs. The ostrich is relentless, deeply driven to protect her unborn chicks at all costs. But the sheer, impossible resilience of the honey badger acts as a psychological weapon. It slowly wears down the ostrich's initial surge of adrenaline. It is a staggering spectacle of nature's raw brutality. A mother's fierce, protective love violently collides with a predator's unbreakable will. The honey badger waits for an opening, and then the tide turns. The stubborn honey badger lands a vicious counterattack, sinking its teeth deep into the ostrich's leg. Overcome by agonizing pain and severe exhaustion, the majestic ostrich finally breaks and flees. Battered, bruised, but undeniably victorious, the honey badger marches triumphantly back to the unguarded prize. It carefully inspects the massive eggs, a feast large enough to easily satisfy its incredible hunger. With deliberate precision, The honey badger slowly maneuvers its strong jaws around the giant, smooth shell. Perfectly securing its hard-earned trophy, the fierce honey badger, carrying a prize, begins its exit. It is a stark, unforgiving reminder of the harsh realities of the wild. To the victor go the spoils. The prize is finally secured, or so it seems. The devastated ostrich can only watch in absolute, silent agony. A truly tragic portrait of maternal defeat, bearing helpless witness to the heartbreaking loss of her future generation. The honey badger makes its retreat, navigating the open plains with its oversized, fragile cargo. An apex survivor claiming its rightful reward. Every step carries it further from the nest. But out here on the African savanna, fortunes can change with the shift of the wind. A meal is never truly yours until it is finally consumed. The open terrain offers little cover, and hungry eyes are always watching. Danger is far from over. Suddenly, the entire dynamic of the savanna shifts. A highly coordinated pack of African wild dogs emerges on the horizon, constantly on the move and hungry. These elite, nomadic hunters continuously scan the landscape for any available opportunity. They have just spotted the lone honey badger. Known for their ruthless teamwork and infinite stamina, the African wild dogs instantly lock onto the target. The pack moves like a well-oiled machine, closing the distance rapidly, sensing an easy, stolen meal. A quiet feast for the exhausted honey badger is about to become a desperate fight for survival. The pack of African wild dogs surrounds the honey badger. Instantly, the honey badger drops the egg, violently preparing to defend his prize. The honey badger is vastly outnumbered, but backing down is not in his fierce DNA. The African wild dogs employ their signature tactic: harass, distract, and endlessly exhaust, desperately trying to draw his attention away from the egg. The honey badger is a whirling dervish of lethal teeth and claws, fiercely lunging at his attackers. Every time a dog tries to sneak behind him to snatch the egg, the honey badger violently spins around. It is a breathtaking display of chaotic combat. A single, fearless warrior, alone against an entire army of predators. The dust continuously flies as the relentless skirmish rages on. The African wild dogs intensify their aggressive assault. Their strategy is a game of deadly patience. They know they can eventually outlast him if they keep him moving. One dog makes a daring grab, pulling the egg slightly away. But the honey badger explodes forward, viciously driving the dog back and desperately reclaiming his prize. The honey badger stands fiercely over it, an unyielding guardian. The pack quickly regroups. The African wild dogs coordinate their strikes beautifully. One from the left, another snaps from the right. The honey badger is violently attacked from every direction. His energy is severely depleted from the previous brutal battle with the ostrich. The honey badger takes their painful bites and continues to roar back, striking genuine hesitation into the hearts of these apex pack hunters. But sheer numbers eventually dictate the harsh rules of the wild. The honey badger can only face so many directions at once. The African wild dogs are relentless, exploiting every fraction of a second when his focus is pulled. Finally, the inevitable happens, in a mere split second of distraction. A remarkably swift dog dives in, securely snatches the heavy egg in its jaws. The dog immediately bolts away from the chaotic fray. The ultimate prize is completely gone. The fierce honey badger, tragically stripped of his hard-earned, massive meal, angrily continues to fight. The honey badger absolutely refuses to show any weakness, aggressively snapping until they lose all interest. With the food completely secured by their fleeing packmate, the African wild dogs turn their backs. They casually trot away into the distance, their mission accomplished. They leave the exhausted warrior behind. The honey badger stands alone, empty-handed, battered, and robbed. Yet, the honey badger never once backed down. He walks away with his life and fearsome reputation intact. Just another brutally uncompromising day in wild Africa.
After a week in the nest, the chick leaves. A crèche, a Flamingo Kindergarten. Some hold 300,000 chicks. Only a few adults watch them all. And yet, every day, the parents return and find their own. The colony is watched. Marabou storks circle from above. Jackals wait by the shore. Even here, in their thousands, the chicks are not safe. 1 in 3 will not survive their first year.